Hi guys, welcome to Creative Making. I'm Pete, and in this short video I'm going to be making an adjustable level base, just like this one. Okay, so I'm just here at B&Q and I'm just going to go and get some supplies for this here video. I've got my mask and I've got my gloves, keep all nice and safe. So let's go and have a look in the shop. Not a clue. Can't find kitchen cupboards. Guess I'll have to keep looking. After looking around a bit, I've finally got what I needed. So I've got some 18mm MDF, a little box of 20mm screws, a cheap spirit level there, and a couple of packets of adjustable cabinet legs. I should probably explain what it is we're making. If you're doing a lot of moulding and casting at home and material keeps pouring out of your mould, there's a good chance that your work surface isn't level. So we're trying to make a board here that you can adjust, you can move about, and you can get a nice level surface. Here's an example of what I'm talking about if you don't have a level surface. That is a right pain. Not only is it a bit of an issue that you have pieces that thick at one side, thin at the other, but you get resin or silicone spilling all over your work surface and making a right mess, just like this. Okay, let's continue. Now that's cleared up, let's get back on with it. So here are the cabinet legs. They're just cheap, a couple of packets there. They're £3 a packet, these, at B&Q. You can get lots of different types on the internet, loads of different shapes and sizes. Got a piece there that screws to the board and the leg pushes in there somehow. There is a little nubbin on the back of that piece that we need to address. And here we've got the MDF that we are going to use for this particular project. As you can see, I've come across a bit of a snag. The piece of board I've got is way too big for my desk. I'm working on quite a small workspace here, so I'm going to have to cut that down. What a pain in the ass. Never mind, here we go. So there's not a massive issue, I just measure it up and get the jigsaw out and cut it. Here are those little plastic nubbins we need to attach to the bottom of the board. And we need to take this piece off, we don't need it. So there's also a central injection point there, might be useful, I don't know. Don't know what that is, we'll probably end up keeping that. Anyway, I'm going to cut those nubbins off at the back. I'm going to get my rotary tool things in a rotary box. And I'm going to use a cut-off wheel on the Dremel to cut those nubbins off. Well, I started to use a cut-off wheel, but the issue soon showed up that it kept kicking back and it was pretty scary, so I just cut this first one off. It was okay, blurry shot, but I swapped over to my Japanese saw and it took a little bit longer, but it was a bit safer. Okay, so they're all nice and flat at the back. I'm just going to take my Permagrit sanding files and I'm just going to flatten those off a little bit at the back. So once they're all done, we need to then take the board and we need to mark up where these pieces are going. Bring them in from the corners a little bit and try and make them even. I've taken my vernier calipers and I've just measured an equal distance in. I've just made this measurement up, it's not anything specific. And then I'm going to take my Pica marker pen and I'm going to mark two of the screw holes. For whatever reason I've drilled those holes in the middle and I've marked that as well. Once that's done, I'm going to project those measurements around the board, each corner there, just using that little ruler with that little ruler stop there. Very useful, those things. So we do that on each corner and make sure that we keep that measurement so they're all in the right place. So here we've got my 18-volt drill, we've got a screwdriver, and we've got some 1.5mm drill bits. And we're just going to drill pilot holes in 2 of the holes there and then screw them in. We're going to do that all around each corner, get them all screwed in, screw that in. And we're pretty much done there. So they're all screwed in. Just going to take those legs there and give them a good firm push into those sockets. We'll really push those hard. Get all 4 of those in. There we go. And then we'll just turn that board over and we'll play about with the adjustments a little bit. Okay, so here we go. We can see the spirit level and we can see the bubble there isn't quite central. So we need to adjust that. So there you go, it's not central. So we'll just play about with the legs underneath and we'll slowly dial that in, and you can see that bubble there really, really slowly moves into pretty much the centre of those 2 lines. And once that's done, we're all level. Beautiful. And that's it. Simple as that. It's such a simple project and it's cheap. One of the things that you do need to remember to do, because we're using MDF, it's quite porous. So if you're going to be pouring resin and that kind of stuff and it gets on the surface there, it's going to stick. So here I've just sprayed some mould release onto the surface there just to give it kind of a waxy surface, and it just means that when we spill anything on it, it's not going to stick. And there is, well, that is a mould, it just looks like a white oblong, but yeah. So now that's levelled up and we've got that same mould we used earlier on, and we'll just pour some resin in there. Nice and even. So there you go. You can then leave your moulds sat on the board and they'll happily cure without spillage. And there we go, a really simple project, really cheap. I think it cost about £10–12, something like that, and it's an incredibly useful thing to have. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe and click that bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks folks, bye.